Parents reminded me bring us Ronnie Rabbit feet. If you're walking in our street, the group you just heard was Select Chorus, which meets every Monday, 3:30 to 4:30. Sometimes we're at 45. Whenever we get done, we get done. They've been meeting every week, getting some music ready. And then a little bit more of a show choir meets on Friday. So the next group is called Harmony. Harmony, raise your hands. You can see them. Select Chorus, raise your hands. You can see some of them are in both, so they come to me quite a lot. So every Friday, maybe 2:30 to 3, and we work on some show choir music. This is what we're going to do. So we're going to do When Christmas Comes to Town. You ready? Rita. Oh.
Wishing on a star and trying to believe that even though it's far, you're finding us. I guess that's just busy, 'cause he's never around. I think of him, guess I stop since God. That's when we will come. It's Christmas Eve. It's hard to be alone. In love, Christmas tree. You come up, it's yours. Christmas comes. It's for my children. Wrapped in red and pink. All the big never really see. No one will be sleeping on the night of Christmas Eve. Only Santa's it's well. All the things I see. No one will be sleeping on the night of Christmas Eve. Only Santa's tree. We just see Jesus.
So this is mine. And this side, which we did it in Spanish and French for the Korean. I'm gonna do it in English today. Okay.
Sing We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your team. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy
We walked around the village. We did some there. So tomorrow we do some more singing in the lobby of. So we want to spread music, joy, and the holidays. Even though happy holidays. Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate. Thank you for having us. Love.
And how much time that you put into your music amazes us to begin with. But on top of it, the smiles that you brought us tonight and the great music that you bring every year that this is what we bring back as students to entertain us and get us ready for the holidays. We are so thankful and it's wonderful to see the smiles on your face. I loved hearing the laughing when you were going down into the village earlier because that's really what it's all about. We also just really want to say thank you year after year that you bring the students back to bring this joy to us. It's wonderful to see every single year. Well done, Mrs.
My
Murphy.
pleasure. It went with us caroling, so thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna have the kids exit out this door and meet you in the parking lot. Thank you so much again for having us. Happy holidays.
Holy night, all is calm, all is done. Glory Oh no, I meant you.
Right.
Good evening. I'd like to call a regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Goshen Central School District tonight, Monday, December 19th. Tonight's meeting starting at 6:30 and being held in the District Administration Building and live streamed through YouTube. Next on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would ask for a moment of meditation for Helen Punkin Bishko. Mrs. Bishko is a retired custodial worker at C.J. Hooker. Next on the agenda is privilege of the floor. I do not believe that we have anyone signed up. Maureen, correct? So I will forego reading the policy for privilege of the floor. Next on the report is the president's report. Under my report tonight, just 2 items. The first one is I just wanted to echo the sentiments from Dr. Coates about Pamela Murphy and having the kids come. I kind of sound like Jason when he sat in this seat and said that it really is a night that we all look forward to. It kind of puts you in the holiday spirits. And it just always amazes me, the talent that we have from our music program, whether it's the play or them coming here to sing, orchestra, band, they always do a great job. So thank you to Mrs. Murphy. I didn't get a chance to thank her when she walked out. Next on my list is the board vacancy. And we've talked about this at length. At this time, the Board of Education, we did interview candidates for the vacant seat on the board at the December 5th meeting. The board discussed the relative merits of the highly qualified candidates and who would best serve the Goshen Central School District. During our discussions, it became clear that the board would not be able to come to a consensus at the time to vote for this vacancy. Therefore, the board position will not be filled. I do need a motion to not fill the vacancy on the board. Jason, do I have anyone to second it? Tom? All those in favor? Opposed? Since we do have 4 in favor, the motion is passed. We do want to thank all of the candidates for taking the time to go through this process with us. And we do look forward to hearing from the voters in May of 2023. Thank you. Next on the agenda is the legislative update. There was the meeting.
All right. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend the past meeting for OXPA, but Ms. Karen Meyer was kind enough to forward over all of the information for the presentation that we had that evening. And she actually forwarded it to all the board members and to Maureen, so I thank her for that. And really the topic of conversation was school aid and how to ensure that we are getting all that we can from the different state available school aids with a real focus on transportation, buildings, and special education. If anybody else would like to see that presentation, we could forward it around. I think Maureen, you may have as well, so thank you for that. That's the quick update for this evening.
Thank you, Tom. Next on the agenda is the superintendent's report, Dr. Curtis Coates.
Good evening and thank you, everyone. So every year, all of our our competitive sports teams have an opportunity to be nominated by our athletic director and our respective schools for recognition as scholar athlete teams. Those scholar athlete teams have to have a GPA of 90 or higher for 75% of the participants on each team. I'm pleased to announce, as I did share in my weekly update, that numerous of our competitive teams for the fall did receive scholar athlete recognition, including both boys and girls cross country, girls tennis, girls soccer, girls swimming and diving, and girls volleyball. I think it is most notable to take a moment and recognize the efforts of our students that not only as we get back to our first full year of normalcy, if you will, if there is such a thing as normal anymore, for them to not only stay dedicated to commitment to their team, but also to their academics is a worthy accomplishment for us to take pause and recognize. So to all of our scholar athletes, congratulations and thank you for everything that you continue to do to not only represent your teams, but your school and yourselves in such a dignified and high-class fashion. Last year, if the board recalls, at the end of the school year, the administrators gave a report on academic progress of our students as we started to find our way towards the end of the effects of the pandemic. We are planning another report in mid-January as we're reaching the midpoint of a year where we will discuss the interventions that we have in place, some of the trends and patterns that we're seeing both in academics and in behavior, and some of the remediation that we are putting in place to try to deal with some of those effects. Again, some of the data that we track is very surprising. Some of it is not, and we can see the effects of the efforts of our educators in the classroom and in the buildings. But wanted the board to have an update on what we are seeing, and we'll be completing that at one of the meetings in January as well. Finally, extending on the theme of music, each year our district applies for and has been recognized, I think, Mr. Carter, for the last 7 years now, under the National Association of Music Merchants, otherwise known as NAM, and it is a national accreditation that gives recognition to the hard work of our music program. And I bring that up because on Tuesday night, I believe it will be the 10th concert that Mr. Carter and I are going to be attending, and it really gives huge volume to the breadth and depth of the music program that we have here in the district. We were able to return to the Trotter Hall of Fame across the street for the holiday concert this year. We've had our elementary concerts in place in Scotchtown. We've been able to return to our auditoriums again. I can tell you we haven't been to one concert where the room hasn't been packed. And the quality of the music and the dedication of the students and the teachers really just speaks volumes to not only the hard work that they do in the classroom, but the non-conventional classrooms such as the stage and the auditorium as well. And to see the students flourish like that is certainly, again, another worthy piece to take note and commend them for. I also want to give recognition to one of our new appointees that is with us tonight, Mrs. Liz McCowan. Will be appointed by the board as a new AIS math teacher in the middle school. Liz is a 2004 graduate of Goshen and attended all from kindergarten to 12th grade right here in Goshen. So I think she's excited to be here. Wanted to welcome you and congratulate you tonight as well. Thank you very much.
Jason just let me know I was remiss in saying welcome tonight, Michael. We have our student advisor here. Sorry about that. I know. Next, thank you, appreciate that. Next on the agenda is the Assistant Superintendent for Business Report, Ms. Lamoran.
Thank you and good evening. I did receive an internal audit report, a draft of the internal audit report from Cooper Arias, and plan to review the report with the audit committee at the board meeting in January, prior to the board meeting actually. I'll also have the corrective action plan prepared at the same time. Budget work continues on the 23-24 school budget. Meetings have been going on with administrators and directors and continuing to do that as we move forward. Our calendar year end is coming up to a close and staff is working hard in the business office this time of year. The transparency report with our 21-22 expenditure data is due on December 31st and it has already been completed and submitted by our treasurer. Payroll is working on the W-2 forms that have to be mailed by January 31st, and accounts payable is working on the 1099 information that is also due out in January. This year is a little bit more complicated because we are merging two software programs together, but we are still on track to get everything done in time. Our financial reports for tonight are for the month of November. In the treasurer's report, our expenditures for November were $7.5 million. We did receive some small amounts of aid, lottery aid, $152,000. We did receive some pilot payments of $91,000, and taxes were still payable in November up until the 5th, and we received $811,000. Our total expenses from July through November 30th were $22.5 million. And for revenue, we've received $63.8 million, And some good news, I know it's good with the bad, but our interest rates are climbing for our earnings on our cash investments. We're earning over 3.5% right now. And just to give you an idea, we've earned $234,000 as of November 30th, as compared to this time last year, it was $4,500. So there is some good news with the bad news of the increasing CPI. That's all I have. Does anybody have questions?
I think I said this before, but I think your reporting is excellent, and I think you're doing a very good job, and I just wanted to commend you on your work so far.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum, Instruction, Personnel, and Technology Report, Mr. Jason Carter.
Thank you, Mrs. Salty. Good evening, everyone. So on the 15th, we were very fortunate to receive notification that our Goshen High School Technology Department was named the ITEA Program Excellence Award winner this year. ITEA is the International Technology and Engineering Education Association, and they do recognize programs not only in the States, but worldwide as an international association. So we're very proud. This was an application that was reviewed at the state level by NISTIA, which is the New York State Teachers Association, and then forwarded on to the international to be considered as one of the nation's leading STEAM programs. So again, I know that you all had a chance to see the demonstrations that were provided here by Mr. Fedor and Mr. Johnson. As always, we're very proud of our students at the high school, very proud of the programs that we're offering. And this time we're very fortunate to win an international award. So we'd like to extend, congratulations to Mr. Fedor, Mr. Johnson, Goshen High School, the administrative team, but more importantly, the students that take part in these programs every single day. Very fortunate to have that. Also like to take a moment just to wish our greater school community a happy, healthy, and safe holiday season as we enter the end of the month. That'll be it for me. Thank you.
I have the unique opportunity, my daughter has Coach Johnson in basketball, so I got a second to talk to him. I think there's only isn't there only 4 awards that are actually distributed with this? So it's amazing. And both of them are going. If you can just elaborate a little bit on it, because it really is, it's just an exciting award for them.
So this is a process that begins at the New York State level. And, we do have visitors that come from the state level to review the program, and then they are forwarded along to the International Association. It is awarded to an elementary, a middle, a high school program, not just in the States, but also at the international level, if they adhere to the standards, to the ISTIA standards. So again, this is not something so simple as a paper application. There's an awful lot that goes into the process. Dr. Coates and I actually sat with the 2 gentlemen here and really put everything in writing based on our goals, objectives, in alignment with strategic planning and the program offerings. And again, it's a quite extensive site visit that gets us forwarded on to that international level. There is the recognition in Minneapolis, Minnesota in April, at which point if we are able to send both Mr. Johnson and Mr. Fedor out to that award ceremony, they'll be recognized at the very beginning of the actual international ceremony. But they'll also have a reception the evening before with colleagues from across the United States to celebrate the award. So again, we're very proud of them. It's a lot of hard work that goes into it. It's not a one-off deal. It's ongoing. And it's proper recognition for a great STEAM program here in Goshen.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, I need a motion for the consent agenda. I have Tom and Shannon. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education approves the remainder of the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor? Opposed? Next on the agenda, old business. There's no old business. Next, I need a motion for 11.1, approval of the minutes. Jason and Shannon. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education approves the minutes for the December 5th, 2022 regular board meeting. All those in favor? Opposed? I need a motion to approve lead evaluator for teacher certifications. I have Tom and Billy. Be it resolved that pursuant to the requirements of Education Law, Section 3012-D and Part 30-2.9 of the Regents Rules, the following person has completed all of the required training to be certified or recertified by this Board of Education as lead evaluator for classroom teachers. Jason Carter, recertified. Nicholas Pantaleone, recertified. George St. Lawrence, recertified. And Lisa Tarvella Rorison, certified. All those in favor? Opposed? Next on the agenda, I need a motion to approve appointment of certain district official positions. I have Billy and Shannon. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education appoints Michelle Cerna as acting district clerk only in the event of the absence or disability of the district clerk. There is no stipend for this position. All those in favor? Opposed? I need a motion for 11.4, approve individual agreements for special education services, sub-allocation of IDA 611 and 619 funds. Tom and Jason. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education enters into individual agreements with the Upstate Cerebral Palsy and the ARC Greater Hudson Valley to provide special education services for students and for the district to sub-allocate IDA 611 and 619 funds to said providers on a per-student basis for the school year July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. All those in favor? Opposed? I need a motion to approve ratification of 3012-D hardship waiver. I have Jason and Billy. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby ratifies the signing by the Board President, Superintendent of Schools, Goshen Teachers Association President, and Goshen Administrators Association President of the SED's Undue Burden Independent Evaluator Hardship Waiver Certification, covering the period July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023, to allow for the continuation of filing an APPR plan that is compliant with the requirements of 3012-D of the Education Law. All those in favor? Opposed? Next, I need a motion to approve budgetary transfers. I have Billy and Jason. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education approves the budgetary transfers over $25,000 for the month of November 2022 as presented. All those in favor? Opposed? Next, item 12, privilege of the floor. I don't believe that we have anyone. Next, board member issues, committee reports. Billy?
Thank you. I have two quick things. My first thing is I just want to thank all community members who did put in for the board seat. I know it was a lot of work up front on your end and taking time to come out to the meeting, so thank you. And my second question, and doesn't need to be answered tonight, but is in regards to I believe the policy committee. I believe that we do have a vacancy on the policy committee. And I think that is something that we are looking to solidify our policies. So I think we should probably look to fill that vacancy and not wait until a new member comes on, only because there are several months. I know that Mr. Loftus had expressed interest, but I'm not sure if you'd like to wait until the next meeting to discuss this or today. And I didn't mean to put you on the spot. Sorry.
No, I mean, I can say that Brett already reached out as well, so, you know, whoever would like to jump on the meeting. And I agree. I mean, we don't have to wait. I had that quick conversation with Brett, but Brett's not here to really speak for himself, so we can solidify that at the next meeting if that's okay. You know, we don't have a policy meeting until after that one. Yeah, we'll resolve it by the next meeting then. Okay. Okay. Is that it?
I just want to say thank you to those who came out and interviewed and put themselves out there. You know, really appreciate their efforts and their interest in the position.
Anyone else? Next on the agenda is executive session. I need a motion to enter into executive session. I have Shannon and Tom. Be it resolved, the Board of Education will enter into executive session with the intent not to reconvene the business portion of the meeting for discussions related to the employment history of a particular person or persons. All those in favor? Opposed? I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. And I also too would like to wish all of you and all of your families a safe and healthy